Have you ever felt jealous of someone else's body? Maybe you have a sister who's taking a GLP-1 and effortlessly dropping the weight. She just seems so relieved. Or your mom friend who's already in her pre-baby jeans, just 2 months postpartum, and she looks so happy. Or your friend who always has been naturally thin and probably never struggled with food noise in her life. Today, we're going to talk about what the emotion of jealousy really is, how to use it to inspire yourself instead of berating yourself, and what you can think to feel fully confident, hot, and sexy in the body you have now. So let's define, what does it mean to be jealous? Jealousy is just an emotion created from our thoughts. If you are new here, this is the model that we use to see why we are acting the way we are acting. So if we are feeling jealous and acting in a jealous way, that is because you have some sort of thought that is making you feel jealous. Not everyone feels jealous of people on GLP-1s. Not everyone feels jealous of their thin friend, but there's something that is occurring in your brain that is probably completely normal, by the way, just based off of how our brain is conditioned by society, that is leading to this emotion of jealousy. This is good news because that means this emotion can be changed. Because it's been created by our thoughts and our thoughts are optional, that means feeling jealous is also optional. Feeling jealous of other people's bodies happens because you create an imaginary story in your brain that they are having a better experience of life than you. The only difference between jealousy and inspiration is your belief in whether it's possible for you to have that thing or not. So if you believe that my friend is thin and that is not possible for me, that is where you feel jealous. If you think, oh, my friend has lost 10 pounds and she no longer has food noise, and feel inspired, that's because you're thinking, this could be me too. I could also achieve this. So it's really this twofold thing. It's someone else has something else that I want, and I can't have it. There are going to be a lot of times where people have different things in life that we don't have. But that doesn't mean it has to make us jealous. It's depending on how we view that thing and whether or not we think it's attainable for us. So let's walk through what jealousy looks like and how it will show up negatively in your life. So let's say the circumstance happens where your bestie goes on a GLP-1, she's losing all this weight, she's looking really confident, she's wanting to go dress shopping with you to buy a new wardrobe. You might have this thought, she's doing it better than I am, or she's ahead on this journey and she must be happier than me. This thought leads you to feeling jealous and insecure. And when you feel jealous and insecure, what do? Think about how you show up. Like, really consider this through here. You might spend your time with your friend thinking about her body instead of genuinely connecting with her as a human being, sitting around and moping about it, looking in the mirror, poking and berating your body, telling yourself how you're not good enough, how you'll never get there. Maybe you become less intimate with your partner. You act like a smaller version of yourself. You don't talk as much in social settings. Maybe you go to food because who cares? I'll never get there anyways. Just not even possible for me. The result of all of that is you don't get where they are or where you want to be, and you feel more unhappy. So just take that time to really look at, okay, when I'm jealous, how do I act in my life? Because that will help you create space from this jealousy and see, oh, the positive intention here is this jealousy wants me to get where they are. It's showing me something that I might want or that I imagine I might want based on how they are feeling. But we want to look at, does that jealousy actually get us there? Most of the times, no. Inspiration, maybe if you're feeling inspired by them and like, wow, my friend, she really healed her relationship with food. She has no more food rules. She's able to go to any restaurant without looking in the calories. She just feels like you might be jealous of her, but maybe you can turn that into inspiration of thinking, ooh, she can do that. I can too. I remember I used to think about skinny people this way. I would look at my friends that were thinner than me, or just other girls, especially in college when I was in my sorority, and comparing myself to them. And I used to think they just must be so happy. Like, they must have really figured out the secret to life, and they must have all of the guys loving them. They must never deal with rejection. They must always feel beautiful and confident and pretty. They must love going shopping and just putting on whatever clothes they want and being able to buy it. That's that experience that I imagine these people to have. Then at one point, I did get to my goal weight and I was miserable. I am so much happier now at what I would consider for me like an average body. I wouldn't say I'm by any means like ultra thin. I'm at a natural healthy weight for myself and I have muscle and I feel pretty lean. but I am by no means like very thin or skinny. Yet I am so much happier than when I was 10 or 15 pounds lighter because I actually can eat food now. Because I'm not starving myself all day long. I'm not over exercising and punishing myself because I had ice cream last night. I'm able to have a treat in moderation and really enjoy it in amounts that feel good to me and move on without guilt or shame. So my life is infinitely times more better, even though maybe I'm like 10 pounds over what I used to have as my imaginary goal weight in my mind. Most of us just make up these random numbers about where we're supposed to be and what size of jeans we're supposed to wear that really have no logical basis on where our body is genetically supposed to be, because we all have different set point weights in our body that's usually not as high as you might imagine it is. I know some people will hear this and they'll be like, oh, guess I'm supposed to be 300 pounds forever. No, most people, it is a very healthy weight for them, but it might not be the 100-pound body that your brain has imagined you would be happy at. But even though I had this fantasy, I still knew kind of logically, like, okay, I'm friends with some skinny people and they still got cheated on by their boyfriend, or they still didn't get the job, or they tried on this cute top at the store that just like didn't quite work for their body still. So they didn't actually have that experience. And that's the first thing that I want you to consider. Could it be possible that I am wrong about the experience that a thin person has? Could it be possible that this person, even though they're losing weight and back in their pre-baby jeans and it seems so effortless now that they're on this GLP-1, maybe they're not as happy as I imagined them to be? Then I want you to ask yourself, what do I imagine this thin person is feeling and doing that I am not? Do I imagine that they are feeling happy, confident, bold? Do I imagine that the actions that they're taking are ordering whatever they want on the restaurant menu, going shopping regularly? And asking yourself, how can I embody that for myself? Because if we start to act like the person we want to be before we're there, that's how we actually become that person. So start taking yourself shopping more now, whether that's, going to a fun shopping experience. I don't know if they still have like personal stylists at Nordstrom anymore. Like, do people still go to department stores? I don't really. I haven't been there in a while. But maybe, if you're wanting to splurge, you do hire a stylist and you have like a fun day of getting a couple new outfits. Or maybe you are on a budget and you decide to just go to the thrift store and browse around, try on a couple things for yourself that would make you feel good. If you imagine that those people are feeling more bold at work and in dating, how can you start being more bold right now? Maybe that's just saying hi to the cute guy at the coffee shop. Even if you don't have a conversation, just saying, hey, how's your day going? That is you being more bold and you being the type of person that you want to start becoming. Really question, why do I think it's possible that they get to feel confident and happy and I don't? Is it true that they can only feel happy because they weigh 100 pounds? No, there are lots of happy people at all different shapes and sizes. And in fact, research has shown that body size does not correlate to body image, meaning you can be 100 pounds and feel worse about your body than if you were at 200 pounds. That is what the research literally shows. I want you to remember that you are on a different journey than most people and you want different things. The normal in our society is to be dieting. So let's go to the situation on if you have a friend that's taking a GLP-1 and they're losing a lot of weight. You can go on a GLP-1 if you really want to. No one is telling you can't do that. You could go drop 20 pounds next month too if you wanted to. But my guess is that's not what you really want. Get clear on why is that not what I want? Well, I know that GLP-1s are only a temporarily band-aid solution, and once I were to go off of it, the weight would come all back. So that's why I'm not doing it. That is telling yourself the truth versus getting lost in this fantasy that this person has it better than me. Do they have it better than you in 5 years from now when they go off it and the weight comes all back? Probably not. Where you are going to be in 5 years is a healed relationship with food at your natural body weight with no food noise that you don't have to worry about at all. And it's permanent because you worked on changing your brain with my approaches. Or let's say the other example. Let's say you have this naturally thin friend that just seems to be able to eat whatever she wants on the menu. She orders pizza and brownies. You can order pizza and brownies too. And if you eat them in amounts that feel good to you and stop when you're full, you could also potentially be at that weight and size. Although it is important to remember that even if two people ate exactly the same, their bodies might be different because we have different energy needs. We work out differently. Like, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. But really asking yourself, do I actually want to eat pizza and brownies all day? Maybe not, because there's a greater consequence to that than just your weight. And even if you could stay totally thin, eating pizza, brownies, cookies, Cheetos, Oreos all day long, Would you actually want that? Because you'd still get the consequences of having low energy, of ruining your gut health, of feeling bloated and sluggish throughout the day. Those things are still very real things, even if someone is naturally thin, that they still have consequences with. I know a lot of naturally thin people who have a lot of health issues, even though maybe they eat healthy, or maybe they do have these other processed foods in moderation. I'll give you another example of how you might apply this to your life because this is like a very valuable skill, whether you are thinking about how I can stop being jealous of other people's bodies, or if you just feel jealous of people in general. Feeling jealous of other people's relationships, careers, money, houses, like all of those things can come up for people. For me, something that's come up recently is I still have some friends who are digital nomading. They are living in other countries and working remotely. And I look on Instagram and they look like they're having tons of fun. Now, this is something I have actually done myself. In about 2 months of the year, I like to go live somewhere else, travel, really enjoy my time away from home. So I have created a life like that for myself, but I know that I also like to be home at least the majority of the year because I like my routines. I like having stability and having like real friendships at home too. So I have to be home for a good amount of time in order to create that for myself. But when I see my friends online having fun in Italy and going around South America, I think they are happier than me. But then the other night, I was talking to one of my friends over FaceTime, one of the digital nomads, and she told me how she was in Chicago. And she's like, I honestly really did not want to come here. Like, I just wanted to be at home. I didn't want to pick up and go somewhere again. And I had such a fun summer in Chicago last year, but just like all of those friends are gone. Like, I just really did not want to be here. But what was interesting is from her Instagram, I thought, oh my gosh, she's having this amazing experience. And I'm so jealous. Like, I would really love to be traveling right now. But it's so funny because even like 2 months ago, I was in Japan for 2 weeks. And I had a lot of moments when I was in Japan wishing I would be at home so I can just like be back in my routines. So I was always looking for the next thing of what would make me happy. Okay, traveling will make me happy. Being at home will make me happy. Instead of focusing on what can I actually be appreciative about what I have right now. Ask yourself, what do I have in my life? Maybe you're working on your weight or your relationship with food. You're on this journey to stop binge eating. What have you achieved? What do you feel proud of? Focus on those things. The final question I'm going to leave you with is, am I doing everything I can to create the results I want? Sometimes we feel jealous of others because they're working harder than we are, and we wish we were a harder worker. So asking like, if I'm not getting to where I want to be around food in my body, am I truly doing everything to create those results? You want to have that level of dedication that you admire for yourself. Because if you can truly say, yes, I am doing everything I can to stop binge eating and create my dream body, then you don't get jealous so easily because you're like, you know what? I'm on my right path. Like, I'm doing what I can and that's all I can do. So if you're one of my clients inside of the Confident Eater program, I really want you to practice this thought of, I am doing everything I can do right now to get the results that I want. I am on my right path. And no matter where you are, I truly believe that everything comes in its own perfect timing. Everything is happening exactly as it should, and you're right on time no matter where you are in your journey with food. Use other people to inspire you, to make you see that it's possible versus putting yourself down that you're not there yet. You will get there, especially if you don't give up. Keep going and you can get to where you want to go. Or take this as an opportunity to question, do I really want to go where other people are going? Do I actually want to lose 20 pounds? Or are there other things and ways to go about life that will actually make me so much happier than getting to that imaginary fantasy goal of weight loss that I've created arbitrarily in my mind? You can decide that your body is beautiful and worthy and sexy and hot just as it is today. Plenty of people at all shapes and sizes do feel that way and do decide to believe that because it is a choice on what you believe. So choose to believe something that feels powerful, kind, and loving to yourself today.